Good morning, students. So today we will study about the lymphatic system. In the previous classes we learnt about the blood circulatory system. In that I explained you about that it comprises of blood, blood vessels and heart. Okay. So these are the components of blood circulatory system. Now we will study about lymphatic system. It comprises of three components like lymph vessels, or you can say the lymphatic capillaries and lymphatic organs. First I will explain you what is lymph. So see, suppose now the blood is coming out from here, from artery. Now the blood which is coming out from the artery, that is oxygenated blood. Here we know that arteries bifurcates into the blood capillaries. Okay, arteries bifurcates into the blood capillaries. Here the cells are there, the cells of our body. Here the exchange of gases takes place, or from here the blood is coming to the cells. And here, so from here, small amount of blood plasma oozes out from this blood capillaries. These are very thin blood capillaries and these are porous in nature. So from here, because of their porous in nature and these blood capillaries are very thin, few amount of blood plasma comes out from the capillaries, and these are the cells. So in between the cells, or you can say in the interstitial space, this plasma get filled out, and this is called as tissue fluid, or you can say it as a lymph, because it is the cells comprises of tissue. Cells together forms tissue. So you can say here, when the blood is traveling through the capillaries, when the blood is going from the capillaries, from the thin capillaries, small amount of plasma is oozes out from the capillaries and just accumulate here in the cells or in the tissue. That's why it's called as tissue fluid and lymph. And after that, suppose 90% of the blood after it will get exchanged the gases or the nutrients in between the cell. 90% of the blood go back through the vein, but only 10% of blood, or you can say that is plasma, get accumulated in the interstitial space of tissues. Okay, that is called the lymph. So the lymph consists of plasma and WBC. The lymph comprises of plasma and WBC. The blood comprises of RBC, WBC, platelets, plasma. Okay, but now the lymph is devoid of these RBCs and platelets. Okay, so the lymph consists of only plasma and WBC. So you can see the definition of lymph is written here. When the blood flows through the thin capillaries, here see the arteries is bifurcating into the thin capillary. Out of thin capillaries, this fluid is called interstitial fluid or tissue fluid or lymph. Small amount of plasma filters out from this thin capillaries, and this is called as interstitial fluid or tissue fluid. Lymph is also called as extracellular fluid. Obviously, it's an extracellular fluid and it is colorless. Contain lymphocytic cells. The lymph contains lymphocytic cells and plasma, and very less amount of plasma protein is present as compared as to blood. Lymph flows only in one direction, that is from tissues to heart. See here, now the lymph, you can see the lymphs are present here in the interspace of this tissue. So it has to get back to the blood. So through heart, it will get back to the blood. So how it get back to the heart? So to know that, we have to learn the lymphatic vessels or lymphatic capillaries. Before starting this topic, I just want to say the accumulation of this lymph is very dangerous often. Like this accumulation of lymph in your tissue causes swelling of your tissues. I think you heard about the disease called as elephantiasis, that is caused by the filarial worm. So in that disease, these filarial worms supposed to act, or you can say these filarial worms actually they because of that filarial worms, this lymph get accumulated in the tissues, and for that this swollen legs of there, or you can say the elephant legs. Swollen legs is causing due to this elephantiasis, or you can say the elephant's legs. Okay. So now, so it is very dangerous. It has to be get back to your blood. It is very dangerous if the lymph is accumulated here only, in the tissues only, because it will cause swelling there. So it has to be get back to the blood. So how it travels or get back to the blood? It will travel through lymph vessels, or you can say the lymphatic capillaries. Now see, here the cells are again here. Here this is the cells, and these are the interstitial space where this lymph is present. Now through lymphatic capillaries, it will travels down into the lymphatic capillaries, combine to form lymphatic vessels. From here it again drains out, and it will reaches to lymphatic duct. After lymphatic duct follows, or you can say after lymphatic duct, it will combine to join the right thoracic lymphatic duct and left thoracic lymphatic duct. So these two lymphatic ducts are present. Basically, right thoracic lymphatic duct is present in the right side, or you can say it is having all the lymph which is present in the right side of your body. Okay, so all the lymph which is present in the right side of the body, it's get poured into the right lymphatic duct, or you can say the right thoracic lymphatic duct. And the left thoracic lymphatic duct is the largest duct of lymphatic vessel. It is the largest duct. Okay, so it carries all the lymph of the left side of your body. So after that, the lymphatic duct, it combines, or you can say it combines and get joined with right subclavian vein and left subclavian vein. Now it comes to the vein. Now the lymph comes to the through lymphatic vessels, or you can see through lymphatic vessels or capillaries. Now it drains to the veins. Now this lymph drains to the veins. So there is a similarity between, there are so much similarity between veins and lymphatic vessels. The similarity is that both are very thin walled, and both are having the walls in it. Whereas lymphatic vessels consist of more walls. Okay, are having more walls as compared as to veins. Okay, so now it comes to the right subclavian vein, and it combines and joins to the right subclavian vein and to left subclavian vein. And now this right and left subclavian vein combines to form vena cava that I explained you in the time of heart. The vena cava is the largest vein of your body. Okay, so through lymphatic channels, lymphatic capillaries, it is now drains to the vena cava. Okay, clear? From the lymph, from the extra, or you can say the intracellular spaces of the tissues, the lymph get drains to the lymphatic capillaries, then to the lymphatic vessels, then to the lymphatic duct. From the lymphatic duct, so after that there are two thoracic ducts, lymphatic ducts are present, that is right thoracic lymphatic duct and left. From the right side of your body, this the lymph get collected, and from the left side of your body, the lymph get collected here. And after they combine, and after they get joined to the right subclavian vein and left subclavian vein, and after that it drains to the vena cava. Okay, so through vena cava it reaches to the heart, and there it get mixed, or you can say it get mixed with the rest of the blood of your body, or you can say vena cava only. Now it's vena cava is the largest vein, so now the vena cava carries this lymph with the blood to the heart to get oxygenated. Okay, so now what are the lymphatic organs? So lymphatic organs such as lymph nodes, spleen, thymus, tonsils, and Peyer's patches. So what are the lymph nodes? So when lymphatic vessels interact or cause, or you can say then the lymphatic vessels interact or covers each other, they will form lymph nodes. Okay, so lymph nodes are like bean shaped, and these are present in the armpit, abdominal region, or you can say in the neck region. Okay, so the main function of lymph nodes is it filters the lymph. Okay, they produce lymphocytes like T and B lymphocytes. You can write it with me. The lymph nodes, the function of lymph nodes is to filter the lymph, or they can produce B and T lymphocytes. Basically, what is the function of these T lymphocytes or B lymphocytes? They used to destroy the bacteria. Okay, so hence they can filter the lymph by destroying the bacteria. Okay, so the main function of lymph nodes is to filter the lymph. With the help of B and T lymphocytes, they also used to kill the bacteria which is present in the lymph. Okay, so in few diseases like AIDS also, you can see the lymph nodes get swollen first, no? So here from the lymph nodes get swollen in the diseases like AIDS also. Next, what is spleen? Spleen is largest lymphatic organ, or you can say it acts as blood bank. Okay, this is the largest lymphatic organ among all, and it is acts as blood bank. Next is thymus. Thymus is a gland, you know. So the maturation of T lymphocytes takes place here. Okay. So next is tonsils. Tonsils are present in the oral cavity, you know. And next, Pierce patches. Pierce patches is present in the wall of small intestine, and this is also an lymphatic organ. Yes, I explained. One thing is left here also. See here, when the lymphatic organs and lymphatic capillaries. Here also, this is small intestine. Okay, so this is the intestine. So where the intestine, you know, the villi are present. In the villi, this structure in the upper side of this intestine, with the villi, these lacteals are present. Lacteals are the milky white in color. So okay, so lacteals combines to form, these all lacteals combine to form a bag-like structure that is called as Cycli cisternae. Okay, this is called as chyle, C-Y-L-I, chyle cisternae. From the chyle cisternae, the chyle cisternae is a bag-like structure. Okay, write the spelling of chyle, C-Y-L-I. Okay, so from the chyle cisternae, this is a bag-like structure. This will get to the left thoracic. It will get or combine with the left thoracic lymphatic duct. Through it can drain out. Okay. So this is all about the lymphatic system. Now next, we will study what is the difference between blood and lymph. Next, we will study about the functions of lymph. So first, it transports fatty acids and glycerol from small intestine to the blood. As I explained you now only, that through the lacteals, it again transports the fatty acids from the intestine and absorbs the fatty acids and glycerols. Okay, and from the small intestine, it carries through lacteals that I explained you now only. Okay, through lacteals, it carries fatty acid and glycerol back to the blood. Next, lymphocytes present in it destroys the harmful pathogens like bacteria. It drains excessive tissue fluid from intracellular spaces back into the blood. Obviously, extracellular, because if it accumulated there on in the tissues, it causes swelling. So it has to be go back into the blood. Next, lymph node localize the infection and prevent it from spreading into the other body parts. Now, what is the difference between the blood and the lymph? Now, the blood forms the circulatory system and lymph forms the lymphatic system. Blood is red in color due to the presence of hemoglobin, whereas lymph is colorless as hemoglobin is absent. RBCs are absent here. It consists of plasma, WBC RBC and platelets, whereas it consists only plasma and WBC. Blood flows through arteries, veins and blood capillaries, whereas lymph flows inside vessels and lymph capillaries. And the last point, the flowing of blood, its flow is very rapid, whereas lymph flow very slow. Okay, so this is all about the lymphatic system.